If you are enjoying this content, please like, subscribe. If you would like to get a cozy, slumbering seagull t-shirt, please click on the link below. Thank you.
"Keep moving," Leroy urged as the pirates regrouped and gave chase. The bridge creaked under their weight as they made their escape, leaving the frustrated pirates on the other side of the ravine. The kids exchanged pained looks, hearing the distressed cries of Hunter and Atlas fade into the distance as they fled. The rickety bridge swayed as Uma, Leroy, and Silas inched their way across the deep ravine. Every step brought a chorus of creaks and groans from the aged wood and fraying ropes. Suddenly, a loud snap echoed. The bridge lurched violently to one side. "Ah! The ropes are breaking!" Leroy shouted, clinging desperately to the remaining supports. Uma's eyes widened in terror. "We're not going to make it across." Silas, still unsteady in his new armor, stumbled and nearly fell. "Silas, do something!" Uma cried out, her knuckles white as she gripped the ropes. In that moment of panic, Silas felt a surge of energy coursing through him. The emerald glow of his armor intensified. Acting on instinct, he thrust out his hand towards the dense jungle on the other side of the ravine. "Come on," he muttered through gritted teeth, concentrating with all his might. At first, nothing happened. Then slowly but surely, the vegetation began to respond. Vines started to grow at an incredible speed, stretching out across the gap and intertwined, thickening and strengthening, forming a natural bridge beneath their feet. As the wooden bridge gave way completely, the three found themselves standing on a sturdy platform of living vines and leaves. Leroy let out a breathless laugh of relief. "Silas, you did it!" Uma stared in awe at the plant bridge. "This is incredible." Silas panted from the effort. He managed a weak smile. I'm not sure how I did that, but I'm glad it worked." The vine bridge continued to grow and strengthen, anchoring itself firmly to both sides of the ravine. "We should keep moving," Uma said, eyeing the other side where the pirates might reappear. Silas marveled at what he had just accomplished. The power thrumming through him was exhilarating and terrifying all at once. He knew that mastering these abilities would be crucial for whatever challenges lay ahead, and perhaps for understanding the strange changes happening to the island itself. Uma then led them downhill where they arrived at the beach. As they descended the hill, the dense forest gave way to a breathtaking view of the shoreline. The golden sand stretched out before them, meeting the crystal clear waters that lapped gently at the beach. The sun hung low on the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant hues of orange and pink. Uma paused, turning to face Silas and Leroy. "I think we could all use a moment to catch our breath," she said, her voice tinged with both weariness and warmth. Why don't we rest here for a bit before we continue our search for the golden staff? Leroy nodded, but his usual enthusiasm was noticeably absent. His shoulders slumped as he kicked off his shoes. A shadow of worry clouded his face. As they made their way onto the soft sand, Uma placed a hand on Silas's shoulder. "Silas, I want to thank you for your bravery back there on the bridge. What you did was truly remarkable." Silas felt his cheeks flush with pride and embarrassment. I'm glad I could help," he mumbled, still not used to receiving recognition. His parents loved him, and he knew that they did, but they were busy, and his quiet nature caused him to easily fade into the background. The feeling he got from Uma's words made him feel, well, not so small. Uma smiled gently. "Don't downplay it, Silas. Your quick thinking and courage in the face of danger were extraordinary. You're growing into your abilities faster than I could have imagined. Plus, that armor looks great on you." Leroy, who had been quiet, finally spoke up. "Yeah, Silas, you really saved us back there." His voice was heavy with emotion. I wish I could have done the same for Alice and Hunter." Silas and Uma exchanged concerned glances. Leroy's normal cheerful demeanor had given way to visible distress. "Leroy," Silas said softly, "what happened wasn't your fault. We'll find a way to rescue Atlas and Hunter from the pirates. I promise." Leroy looked up. His eyes glistened with unshed tears. "But what if we're too late? They fought to protect me, to protect us all, and I let them down. I should have been more careful. I should have protected them better." Uma knelt beside Leroy, her voice gentle but firm. "Guilt won't help Atlas and Hunter, Leroy. What matters now is that we're on a path to find the golden staff. With its power, we'll have a much better chance of rescuing them." Silas nodded in agreement. "Uma's right. We're all in this together now. We won't let anything happen to your friends." Leroy managed a weak smile, touched by their support. "Thanks, guys. I don't know what I'd do without you." Silas was taken surprise for a moment. Then he smiled. He felt compassion about what Leroy was going through, but was also glad that him being there meant so much to Leroy. He was delighted he could help. Suddenly the armor shone even brighter than before. Uma tilted her head to the sky, listening. "Oh, I see. Okay, Lord." Then she nodded. She looked at Silas. "God is delighted in your trust in him. He loves to see you use your gifts. You have great courage and great compassion. The compassion that you have shown Leroy has moved God's heart to add to you another gift of strengthened armor. No arrow or sword will be able to leave even a dent in time of attack or battle." Both Uma and Leroy patted Silas on the back. "I'm happy for you, buddy. You deserve it," Leroy said joyfully. The trio settled onto the sand, enjoying the warmth of the fading sunlight and the soothed sound of the waves. Just then, Soren the owl flew down and landed on Leroy's shoulder. I saw what happened, Leroy. I can assure you, do not be afraid. God will help you. God will help us all. Leroy patted the owl as a tear rolled down his face. Thank you, Soren. I'm so glad you're safe and sound. I have the honor of being assigned by your side for however long you'll have me. You're welcome here. It would be our honor, right, guys? Said Leroy. Oh, yeah, he's welcome here, of course, said Silas. Yes, always, said Uma, glad to see Leroy looking happy again. Soren let the group know that he would be bringing a basket of food and flew off. He returned with a basket of fruit, and they all ate. Even the smallest portion filled their stomachs as if they'd eaten a 3-course meal. After a few moments of contemplative silence, Uma spoke up. Get some rest, all of you, she advised. Once we're refreshed, we'll head inland again. I have a feeling the staff might be hidden in the ancient ruins we glimpsed from the mountaintop. And Leroy, stay hopeful. Atlas and Hunter are clever and strong. They'll hold on until we can reach them.